15th episode of Tea and Talks. We will be your three hosts for the day.
Hello, I'm Omema.
Hi, my name is Imaan.
And my name is Lina.
So today we'll be talking...
Today, Omema will be introducing the topic since she hasn't actually had that experience yet. So if you'd like to go ahead.
Okay, so today we're going to be speaking about inspiring youth because we thought might as well dedicate a whole episode about it because there's a lot of people that don't get spoken about that they just need to be spoken about. For example, me, because I am quite inspirational.
Yeah, that wasn't self-centered or narcissistic in the slightest. But to reiterate that, what we wanted to do today was speak about, some of the young ones, or to phrase it better, some of the youth that have made contributions which do go unnoticed. And the purpose of why we wanted to speak about this was we feel that quite a lot of the time, young people could be portrayed in the sense that they're not as caring, or they're not doing as much, or they don't contribute as much. So we hoped that by speaking about a few young people that have made some pretty amazing changes, it would help lighten that image a little bit.
Thank you.
So to start it off, we'll be talking about, and we'll actually show the video, I think, of a 18-year-old girl called Sarah, and it was a TikTok, and we just wanted to share it because we thought it was just amazing for us all to see.
Yeah, I'm the one who found it, so thanks for not giving me the credit for that one either, but okay. We thought that it was quite genuine and just nice to see because it was like she didn't have to go out of her way to do it, but she did, so we're going to play that now.
I think before we play it, if you want to give a bit more context on that.
I mean, the video explains it itself. What can I...
Lina, I think you're better explaining.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's just not put you down for that again. The video is about the video, we will play it to you, but it's about a young girl named Sarah who, the purpose of the video was because she wanted to help those who are suffering with eating disorders. So when you play the video, it is pretty self-explanatory, but just to give it a little bit more context, we can have the video play, please. Just before that, we're just going to stop the Instagram live purely because we can't show the video through the live as well, so it will be a little awkward if you just watch us sitting there. So once that's off, okay, if you can play the video now, please.
Hi, so if you ever have a hard time sitting yourself down for a meal, let's have a meal together. And in honor of my 18th birthday today, we can have like a birthday meal celebration type thing. You can have any meal you want with me today. I'll have breakfast because breakfast is my favorite meal of the day, and I have my favorite breakfast. So that's a medium caramelized coffee with cream and liquid sugar, and then a pumpkin spice donut. Okay, I'll take the first bite to make it a little bit less intimidating for you, and then you can have your first bite after. Okay, perfect. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, that's so good. Okay, your turn. Perfect. I know that was hard and I'm really proud of you. Let's have the second bite together. Ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Keep going.
Right.
Like literally, look, it was this girl's birthday, and instead of sitting there...
It was her birthday.
Well, she does say it, Lina. Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it properly yet, no.
Okay. We can't cut that out because it's live, but I'm going to carry on and pretend that she didn't say that. But no, like, it's her birthday, and instead of sitting there complaining about this went wrong, or, this didn't happen, or I didn't get this, instead she kind of thought, I'm going to put this out there, which it was really nice to see.
No, I do think that nowadays a lot of people are really distracted with their own problems, and rightfully so, but as more time passes, I think people tend to pay less attention to those around them. So when you look at this young girl who put this video out with the pure intention of helping others and wanting to just lend that support to people who are suffering, it really does make you take a step back and just think about what it is that you are doing to contribute. And above all, I do find that as a very inspiring thing to do, and it's just something that's very warm-hearted, I think.
It's literally like, it's a 60-second video, but it's had such a huge impact. There's been comments like, this has helped me so much, and I've been struggling to eat, and it's just helped people, and it's just so nice to see that even just one thing, even if you don't think it will affect people, it actually can, and it can improve people's lives.
Literally, like, loads of people have kind of duetted it of them kind of reacting to it, or them having a meal with it, and you can see how scared they are, but they still just took that step and like you don't know what one step could lead to. So it's like it kind of just shows how the littlest of things could have greater impacts, even if you don't think they would.
Yeah, and like especially with eating disorders, because I think when we were reading up a little about it, I believe every 2 out of 5 people will either experience an eating disorder, or they may know someone who does suffer with an eating disorder personally, or someone who may just struggle with food. So when you think about that, and then you think about how, as a friend, for example, if you're someone who's a friend of another person suffering like that, it's very understandable how it could be quite difficult to find a way to make them feel comforted. So when you do think of things like that, it shows how helpful it can be to actually, you know, lend someone your shoulder and just try and be there for them in that sense. So it really is a very beautiful video, I think.
Yeah, and I think that video actually goes beyond just eating disorders, because it could be aimed at even just someone who feels lonely, or obviously say we're in lockdown and they just want to share something with someone or just feel involved with someone else. So I think on that note as well, it is
Literally,
really
I
nice.
was about to mention that, like, it's just having that kind of interaction, having that, you know, somebody is still here, even if you don't know them. Like, think that girl doesn't know that, I don't know, millions of people that have seen it, but they still had that kind of impact, and they still felt that even though she didn't know them, they had that kind of, I don't know, what connection. That felt a bit weird to say.
Someone feeling that. And on that note, we just want to say again that if you're ever struggling with anything, please do feel more than free to contact us and DM us, because we'll be more than willing to listen to you.
She won't be replying to the DMs because she's not responsible for that.
I'm really bad with replying. But
she's also quite blunt and rude, so...
Okay, again, we can't cut this out, can you... Gosh. Anyway, additionally, there are professionals, of course, who we would advise you to contact if you're ever...
There are another 2 teams which we thought were amazing too, and they were 2 young sisters. I can't really remember their names, but Omema, do you want to explain?
They were only 10 or 12 years old, because the 2 sisters, when they decided to kind of start this whole activism, and it was literally just because they weren't liking the way that their island was kind of full of plastic bags, and they lived around the beach, and they weren't satisfied with it, so they decided, you know, first let's start off with beach cleanups and start cleaning the beach. And soon enough, like, these projects started moving on to different organisations, and they kept getting bigger and bigger. And now, come 2020, Bali is completely free of I can't speak today, I'm sorry. Completely free of plastic bags, and in 2021 they're planning on getting rid of plastic bags in all of Indonesia, and that's because of 2 sisters.
See, if you look at that, these are 2 teenage girls who were able to change the course of an entire island, purely because they had an idea that they were passionate about, and they didn't just sweep it under the rug, and they actually acted upon it.
And it's like they thought of this idea, and then instead of just, like, obviously climate change and plastic bags and everything has a huge impact and is a huge problem, and instead of just sitting there and just saying, oh yeah, there's plastic bags all on the island, they actually did something about it. And we actually have a video, I think, of these 2 sisters that we
didn't explain it quite well, so I think the video might just do a bit better.
Yeah, just to say, I think we have one more video after this, so I apologise to the Instagram viewers, because we're going to be cutting you off quite a few times, but after this hopefully it will be no more. But if we can just turn the live off again, and if you could have the video.
Hi, my name is Malati, and this is my sister Isabel, and we're the founders of Bye Bye Plastic Bags. We are a social initiative, or now an NGO, driven by youth to get the people on the island of Bali to say no to single-use plastic bags.
We've been campaigning for around almost 5 years now, with a team of 25 young people on the island of Bali from both local and international schools, all different age groups, to get the people on the island of Bali to say no to plastic bags.
And I think we focused on the plastic bags because we really believe that that's the first step, the warming up to the real change that needs to happen. And you know, it connects to SDG number 14, the Sustainable Development Goal number 14, because unfortunately most of the plastic we use in our everyday lives makes its way or ends up into our oceans. Our main goal, why we started, is to get Bali plastic bag free. And now we're working towards that by 2018, Bali is plastic bag free, so we're on the 1-year countdown. But next to all of this, our activism has really brought us onto another message, onto another path where we really represent and embody youth empowerment, right? We've become literally a living example that kids can do things. We don't have to wait until we're older. So our goal is really to empower each and every single individual, every single youth, to feel like they have the power to really do something and don't have to wait until you're older. It doesn't matter how old you are and it doesn't matter where you are in the world. Just find that one thing that you are passionate about and go for it.
If you looked at that video, they literally looked about our age, a bit older, and how much change they had. It's just huge, and how they banned plastic bags in Bali and soon to be Indonesia. It's kind of crazy.
No, like, even if you heard what they said, they kept pressing on the fact that the whole team is made up of just youth and is made up of just kids, and look how far they've come. And it's kind of, it does show that your age doesn't hold you back in kind of what you can do.
Definitely. And another story that we did want to share was one of a young boy named Shaquille Jackson. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. I apologize if I'm not.
She made me Google it so she could play a video of how it's pronounced, and then we sat there with like the speaker to our ears, and
she kept saying it's Shaquille. Listen, I think it's Shaquille.
No,
Okay, shall we go?
Fast.
No,
okay.
but I'm sure it's Shaquille. I think I'm saying it
carry
right,
on
but
explaining.
just in case, I apologize if I'm not. But he was a 9-year-old young boy from, I think, where was it? He lived in Chicago, was it?
I don't know, you should know this.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Chicago, that was it. So he used to help his aunt distribute food, I believe, to local homeless shelters. And every time he'd help his aunt, what he started to, the state of the people he were helping, it affected him a lot. So what he did was he came up with a project that was founded called I? And in this project, what Shaquille would do is he'd distribute, I think the figure was around, how much was it? 3,000.
Yeah.
Over 3,000 blessing bags. So.
Look, this kid is 9 years old and he's doing all of this, like 9. And most of us walk straight past kind of homeless people in the street and we don't even...
gave a homeless person food.
Oh, thanks for just telling everyone that I'm such a nice person. Don't. Look, he's 9 years old and most of us just walk past, on our phones, distracted, and we don't even pay attention to it. But he didn't just put the effort in. He constantly saw, this is a problem. I'm gonna try and do something about it.
Yeah, it's amazing how, he's almost half Imaan's age, I think. And look what he's accomplished. It is a pretty brilliant thing. You can get that one day, don't worry, Imaan. But it's definitely an amazing thing, I think.
And I think it just goes to show that if we do spend our time wisely and, we do just think about our community and the environment, we can actually change something.
And if the age of 9 intimidated you, oh God, we've got another one coming. How about 3? I'm really joking. If you feel ashamed, I'm really sorry. Don't feel ashamed. But
Yeah,
I feel ashamed, but anyways, so when I was 9, I was probably crying because I dropped my lollipop on the floor and
That's
it went
a true
all
story, I remember.
Anyways, so the next story is about a kid named Ryan Hickman, I think it was. And when he was 3 years old, he went to visit a Replanet recycling centre, and he kind of in California, and that's when he knew there's a problem here.
He knew.
And that's when he knew he was going to fix it. Anyways,
at the age of 3.
Yeah, at the age of 3. I don't even know what I'm doing now, but okay. Anyways, so at 7, that's when he started recycling and started collecting bottles and cans and just collecting. And then he got to the point where he collected over 200,000 bottles and cans. And when he was asked, why are you doing all of this? His answer was quite simple. He was like, because bottles go to the ocean and they kill animals and they get sick and they die. Look,
that's a bit sad.
No, it's sad, but look, that's a child and you already know it's 1 + 1 = 2.
Okay. I don't know how that relates, but okay.
Nor do I, but again, that is a very, very young child who's out there actively trying to fix problems of other people. And again, he's half of Imaan's age, so Imaan can learn from that. That's definitely.
Just tell everyone my age. It's fine. It's fine. Actually, I'm 15.
Are you?
Not
You
14. Anyway,
I don't think it makes much of a difference, but let's carry on.
Anyway, it just shows how such a young child can I can't speak either. Distinguish the difference between right and wrong. And when you actually do have an ambition and you see something that's wrong and you think about doing something about it, you can actually make.
Did you say wrong in you? I don't think he saw a problem with himself, Imaan.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to this after. I didn't think I did.
You did say that.
Okay, carry on.
Anyways, so I know we're moving on quite fast, but we can't. There's quite a lot of people we want to speak about. But next person we want to speak about is 19-year-old. I think it's 19 now. Easton LaChapelle. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your second name. But Imaan, do you want to kick that off if you improved on your English skills in that little break?
Okay, it was YouTube, but okay. So this 14-year-old, 1 year younger than me, I don't know how to pronounce her name, LaChapelle, I think, built a prototype robotic hand out of Legos and a fishing wire, just to add, in 2011, which earned him a 3rd place at a fair.
I think it was the Colorado State Science Fair. I remembered that.
She wrote it on her hand and she just read it off her hand.
That's not true. This is my hand.
And there's another hand.
there.
Anyways, carry on.
So coincidentally, after he met a 7-year-old girl at the science fair who had a prosthetic arm which costed £80,000, and obviously he knew this is his point, not at the recycling place, but this was his point when he knew what he had to do. He thought that he had to make an arm that would cut like.
For some reason, it sounds like you're degrading what he did by so much more.
Okay, let's. So he thought that he needed to make an arm that people, obviously, not everyone has £80,000 spare just to spend on an arm.
Yeah, I keep that in my second bank account personally, but.
Yeah, so he built another one that costed a lot cheaper. So I think for him that was like really amazing.
I think again the whole motive behind him doing that was when he did find out how much the girl had to pay for that prosthetic arm. It was more based on the ideology of why should someone have to pay so much just to carry on living life as a normal person.
Thank you, Lina, for explaining that much better than Imaan. Just completely butchered what he did.
And he did it via a 3D printer, and he made the design accessible to download.
It sounds like she's reading a Wikipedia page. Anyways, so we have a video,
you did the research.
Another video to play. I think this is the last video because Imaan just did not do it justice there. So we thought you could hear it from his own perspective.
Sorry, before we play the video, I just want to add again that obviously he did make this other model, but whilst I believe it would cost around $350 US dollars, I think.
Oh yeah,
to
he
produce
mentions
that,
it in it as well.
He does.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine then. Let's play the video.
That's why I just brushed it off.
Okay, let's play the video.
Identity.
Hey, pleasure to meet you. Great. So I have a lot of cool stuff to show you. Yeah. This hand is actually operated using your thoughts, using your brain waves. Wow. So that reads right about 12 different channels in your brain. I would love to have you try this and see if we can get it moving. Try and only focus on one thing.
All right. It's a big deal for me. It could mean confidence. It could mean more ability. I could see this being something that could change my life.
Do you think you scare the prosthetic companies?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna probably shut them down.
Ladies and gentlemen, Easton LaChapelle.
I'm here because I want to do something big. I could do a lot of things with what I've developed in the past 5 years. I could sell it, I could hold it close to my chest, or I could realize it's bigger than just me. For that reason, I am very proud to announce, right here and right now, I'm releasing the designs and software for my 3D printed robotic arm for free to the entire world by making this open source. You know, we're perpetual. No one person can change the world. It takes, multiple people. So if if I can develop technology in a way so other people can take what I've done and grow from it and do something more with it, someone could take that and keep impacting someone else's life and eventually try and, rule out a lot of the bad in the world by giving back to our own kind.
So if you paid attention to the end of the video, he says that, instead of keeping this arm and like the 3D and printed to himself, he thought, I'm going to share everything that I've done and share all the plans, because he knows that he can either keep it to himself and, still get money from it. And like, look, he's 19 years old. He's done something that people can't do at a grown age, and they don't know what they want to do.
It's a grown age, personally.
No, but like he's already, basically he's got his own business. Do you know what I mean?
He's
and
successful there.
he could gain a lot from that, but instead of keeping that to himself, he chose, there's more to be done here, and there's someone else that might find this and be able to do so much more with it. So I think it's really nice to see that, because a lot of young people and a lot of old people kind of think that our generation is just doing this for the money and just want it because, like, when we look for work and when we look for, there's
everything you do purely falls back on the desire for money.
But clearly not, because he had he had two options there, where it's either, I can gain a lot of money from this, or I could hand this to somebody else for free and they could find something much better out of it. So
yeah, it was definitely something, again, that's really admirable, especially when it was something that was very well received and he got a lot of attention for it. But instead of keeping the money, which again he would have had all rights to do, he chose to facilitate and held on to his original ideal, which was to try and make people be able to live better without having to pay unreal amounts of money. And again, it really is something it just shows the, I think you can't really put a price on someone's intentions like that, but it's definitely something that's really admirable, I'd say.
I think it just goes to show sharing is caring, caring. But anyway,
I think maybe you should keep that in mind when your brother asks you for chocolates next time then.
Lina, I specifically didn't mention that, but okay. So there was one main person that I think we're ending on now, and it's Malala Yousafzai. I think that's how you pronounce it, but sorry if I didn't pronounce it right.
We've all had someone that we weren't sure how to pronounce properly.
Yeah. But Omema, if you want to explain a bit more about her, because
I thought you were explaining about her. I've already spoken about somebody.
Lina then.
Lina has as well. Don't get out of this.
Imaan, let's carry on, shall we? No.
So basically, she was, lots of us were taught about her at school. In many schools she's taught about in religious studies. But she became the youngest Nobel Prize laureate, I don't know how to say it. And she basically captured the world's attention after...
I think it was more, with her, the story and everything, I think it's better to maybe research that online. But she was someone who's currently, to speak about what she's doing right now, she's, I believe, working towards her bachelor's degree at Oxford's Lady Margaret Hall, which is...
That sounds posh.
It's very posh.
Oh, look, this girl's going to Oxford, and that's all because she stood by her, ideas, and she thought...
she was an advocate for women pursuing education.
Yeah, and she stuck by that, and look, she's... At 17, she's honoured for a Nobel Prize, mate.
And additionally, she also has her own charity work that she runs through the organisation Malala's Fund or Malala Fund. And I think through that organisation, she supports a lot of other young women out there and people who are striving towards education.
No, she's spoken to people. How old would she be now? About, maybe 20, 20?
Yeah, I think she's 20.
Around that age. And she's spoken to people like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and Michelle Obama, and that's all because she wasn't willing to back down just because her ideas were different from everybody else, or because people didn't look at her and think, this is what I want to be. She's still stuck with that, and she's stuck with the fact that, I do want women to be educated.
And I think going back to one of our other topics, which was role models, I think to me anyway, she is a great role model because of how many things she's achieved.
To anyone, to be honest, the things she's been able to do is amazing. And again, she's used social media. Social media was the the whole way that she was able to, I think the recognition was brought to her through via social media. And again, I think if we just link back to one of the previous episodes that we did do on social media, it definitely shows that, you know, this has a huge impact when used correctly. And there's really, I don't think you can really put a cap on the amount of things that you can achieve through using any platforms that you have, or using your voice accurately, and, you know, voicing out what you believe and what you think people should stand for. And all the examples we've listed just go to show things like that, really.
I mean, I think overall, like, even 7-year-olds can change. So, So if people have an idea, if you have something that you feel should be changed, then, you know, speak about it, share it with your friends and your family, and because your idea just doesn't stay in one place, it can go wide.
I know we've struggled this time to kind of explain the stories, as I can tell from mine and Imaan's execution of trying to explain.
There's a lot to remember.
But I think that we are coming to the end of this week's show now. We've got another video. I don't think we do.
Do we? I don't think we do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think we've all the videos. We don't have to cut Instagram off again, thankfully.
Obviously, there was loads of people that we haven't been able to speak about. Like, I know I wanted to speak about Zach Sobiak and Emma Gonzalez. Oh, I've watched a really sad film to do with that Zach Sobiak one. It's called Clouds. Go watch it if you're watching this. Honestly, I cried so hard. I never cry at films, but I was crying through all of that. Anyways, getting off topic. But yeah, there's loads of people that we haven't spoken about, and there is going to be obviously loads of people that that you don't know, that people that, I don't know, might just help a woman in the...
gone really unnoticed, whatever they've done. The contributions.
Literally, it's just, if you're doing little things as helping some old lady cross the road, little things like that, like, it doesn't have to be something really big and something publicised for it to be good. And, like, I hope that just for this week's show that you've enjoyed it, and we've been able to kind of spread the message of try and do something, like, just try to do little kind acts, because you never know how great the impact can be.
Something that you may view as something very small for yourself to do, you don't know how much the other person you may be helping will view that, and how much of an impact it will make on them. So try, when you're doing something, don't measure its worth, or don't think you can really measure its worth, because you never know how much it will affect someone else.
Literally, even if you go and buy a homeless man an unhalal sausage pasty from Greg's, go and do it, because you...
We were just
halal and alternatives would be. Yeah. Right. Let's close the show now. I think we've had enough Omema. Again, as always, thank you very much for watching, and we hope to see you next Wednesday. Well, we hope you tune in next Wednesday, because we don't see you.
She has to struggle with this every week, but
every time I tell myself, don't say we hope to see you, and then I say it 10 minutes.
We hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye. Thank you for mumbling at the end.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.